Hi everyone. Wanted to do a few more pages in my Joyful Junk Journal and keep you guys up to date with what I'm doing here. I did want to show you that I added this little dangle on the spine of my book. I made this back when we were doing our dessert morsel where we were altering some packaging tags and things. And I really love this little flower embellishment, and so it just worked out perfectly to put it on the spine of my book, and it's nice and flat. If my book is laying down like this, it's not thick like it would be if there were beads there, you know. So I really like that a lot, and I wanted to show you that. I've clipped in a few things that I'm going to do in here, and I'm just going to kind of go through and find where those clips are. And this one is just a simple one. I was gonna put this photograph in there. This is a photograph that I took of a sunflower in my yard, and it was several years ago, and I was living in Illinois at the time. But these sunflowers were volunteer sunflowers. They would come up underneath the bird feeders where the bird seed would drop and the sunflower seeds would drop. So I had made a little a picture to put, actually made some cards with this, and I was putting this on the top of the on the face of the card and put a scripture on it, and it just turned out real nice, and I loved it. So I thought it would look beautiful on this page. So I'm just going to tuck this inside that little tuck spot that we made last time. And I can always write on the back too, by the way, use this for journaling. I can put paper on the back or journal there. Put photos there, more photos, whatever. And okay, now this one, you guys saw me make this little paper clip in my last video where I was doing some mixed media morsels extra helpings. And I was reviewing how I had made, I made a couple of paper clips the last time that, I'm sorry, in that dessert where I was just making scrap and stash embellishments. And in that video I had made a couple of paper clips, but not very many, so I thought it would be fun to go back and examine that again and make a few more paper clips. So I'm going to put this one on this page because I loved it with the purples and the blues that are on this page already. But I do want to put something on the background here, behind the peacock. So what I thought I would do is, I've got a stencil buried here. Hold on. I've got this artist stencil from Crafter's Workshop, and I'm just going to put some script in the background just to kind of make that page not quite so plain. I'm going to use some archival ink and in a green color, and one of my brushes. I did go back to Amazon to get some more brushes because I love them so much, and I found a set that had different colors. Let me show you. Here they are. So there are 5 in this set also, and I thought it'd be nice to have a color, use one for, like this one, say, for the yellows, and this one for the blues, so on and so forth. And that way I don't have to clean, you know, the brushes. I don't really want to wash these like in water or anything like that. I want to just be able to rub them off on extra paper and get most of the color out. And if I'm continuing to use a green, even if it's not the same color, you know, green, then it'll blend and it'll work well. So that's what I'm going to do. Just kind of put this script on here kind of lightly in the back. I'm going to try to get it light, and if it's too light, then I'll darken it up a little bit. Let me get this piece of scrap paper here just to have handy in case I need to wipe my brush off. But I'm just going to hold the stencil on and just ink up the brush. I'm just tapping a little of that off so it's not too dark. And this should come out just about the way I was thinking. Yeah, it's just putting a little bit in the background. So let's see what we can do here. It's kind of hard to do this once you've started creating your journal, because it does get kind of lumpy and bumpy, and it's hard to hold the stencil, you know, in place because it's bumpy. So if you think about what you might want to do on your pages before you attach them into your journal, it's probably easier, but it's still doable this way. You just have to have a little bit more patience. And I'm not trying to necessarily make this readable, but I just want the words, some of the words, to show up back there. Okay, and then I'm going to just clip my little altered paper clip at the top there. May move it over to the inside a bit. There we go. So I think that looks pretty cool. I know it's hard to see, it's so yellow. It's actually green, but it's a yellow green. So it's there, but it's just kind of in the background. So I don't know what else I'm going to do on these pages yet. I'm just adding things as I go. Things that I come across that I want to include in my book. This is a sweet little picture, excuse me, that my granddaughter made for me last year. And I know it's hard to read. It says, "A birdie for Nana." And she wanted to make a bird, and I said, okay, well, let's make a bird. And she said, I don't know how. So I cut some shapes for her and let her build a bird and glue them down onto the grass paper. So she had the best time. And what I thought I would do is just take some washi tape and just make it a little flip out kind of thing. And because I want to probably write on the back of that at some point and put a little journaling there. So I think I might put it on this edge actually, and I think that'll be so sweet. Okay, so I'm gonna put, whoops, it's stuck to my table. All right, so we're gonna put that right on the, close to the edge here. Okay, just like that. And then I'm going to fold it over, and I'm going to do the same thing on the back side to hold it in place. There we go. Made a little flip. So I think that's really sweet, and I'm loving having that in there. And then, let's see, what else? Okay, now here, this page was white, and it was the back side of this scrapbook paper. So I took this stencil from the Crafter's Workshop. It's called Mini Bricks. And I just stenciled the brick pattern all the way down the page. And it was a little bit darker than I wanted it to be when it was done. And so I put on a couple of coats of white gesso, a little watered down. I just used a wet brush. and it was the Liquitex gesso. That's very liquidy anyway. And that toned it down a good bit for me because I want to use the flowers that I watercolored the other day and have that on this page. And so the background was just a little too strong, and by putting the gesso on there I was able to tone it down just a little bit. This is a copy of that watercolored image. If you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen this a little floral piece I did. I'm going to use that watercolored piece on the front of a card, but before I send it away or give it to the person it's intended for, I decided to scan it, and that way I could copy, make copies and print it and use it in my journal because I loved how it turned out. I was real happy with it. So before I attach that to the page, I wanted to show you that I created a little vase. Okay, I made it glossy, shiny, just like a vase would look, a glass vase. And what I did was I took this piece of, well, first I took a piece of scrap printer paper and I drew out the little vase, and then I took this piece of jelly print and cut that shape out using the little template that I made. And I want you to see the difference. I used some glossy Mod Podge, and look at the difference in the paper, how the paper looks. So I think that's a really fun way to get a good effect if you're looking for a glass effect on something. It will catch the light and it will look really cool. So I have a piece of scrapbook paper that I'm going to attach in the bottom corner of the page here to kind of be like my table surface. Okay, so we got our little table, and then I've got the flowers. This is the little pattern that I had drawn to create my vase. Okay, and then my vase is going to sit there, and the flowers will go here, and they'll go inside the vase. I've got to bring the vase down low enough to fit the height of my flowers. Okay, so it's going to look like that, which I think is so fun. All right, so before I can, I don't want to move everything. I want to make sure I have it where I want it. And then I'm going to go ahead and stick. The flowers are underneath, so they have to be glued on first. So let's get a glue stick. New one. Tight. Okay. So I'm going to keep my flowers in place, and I'm just going to put a little glue there so it won't move. And then I'm going to put a little bit more on. Now, it needs a little bit on the front of the vase, so I have another copy of the same flowers in the same size. And what I'm going to do is just cut out a couple of these little leaves so that I can let them hang, excuse me, hang over the front of the vase, which I think will look really cool, a little bit more realistic. So I'm going to cut out a couple, and then we'll just stick them in place. Let's see what those look like. So we'll have some coming off of the flowers like that, kind of falling over the front. cover up where my signature was. I'm going to cover up that year there. Okay. So you can see how it looks a little bit more realistic with the leaves kind of dangling over the edge of the vase, over the side. I think I might put another one. This one right here would be good. Okay. Let's see, maybe over this way. Yeah. So that looks cool. I like that. And I don't know what else is going to go like on this side or anything yet, but I just wanted to get these flowers down because I was really happy with them, how they looked. I love the color. So I'll come back and add a little bit more to this later. I'm sure there'll be some doodling and some shading and stuff like that to be done. Okay, on this page, the back of this scrapbook paper was this light blue color. So I added a piece of another scrapbook paper here because I want to cover the this side of the envelope. And to do that, I'm going to use this piece of white with blue dots scrapbook paper and just cover that. Excuse me. And then I've got a pretty little butterfly that's going to go on this page. It's a die cut that I've had for years and I loved it, and I was so excited when I realized I wanted to put this here. I was so excited to find this scrapbook paper that looks so cool with the colors in this butterfly. That looks so cool. I love the colors. Love it. All right, so that's what I have for that page. All right, and this page I attached a little piece of scrap paper cardstock to, excuse me, to use it like a little belly band, so I'll be able to tuck something behind there. I don't know what yet, but I'm gonna find something, I'm sure. And then, let's see, oh yeah, then I have this little picture from the back of a package of 𝒶𝓈𝓜 cookies, which I really like. And I just loved this image, the way it looks. I love the coffee, love the color of the cup, I love everything. It's just so sweet, even the yellow and white checks in the corners that match the packaging. I think that's so sweet. So I thought this would be a really cute place to put that image. And I'm just going to glue it down, probably with a glue stick. I peeled this away from the packaging so it's real thin. So I think I'm just going to use the glue stick and stick it down. Come on. There we go. Just thought this looked really sweet on this green page and next to the pretty colorful flowers. So that's where it's going to live. This is so cool. It's right off the box of cookies. So don't overlook your product packaging, guys, especially stuff that you love and things that you want to keep or keep a memory of, you know. And, you know, when I'm gone, somebody's looking through my book, they're going to know I love me some coffee and cookies. Especially Lorna Doone shortbread cookies. So there we go. So I found some stickers in my stash that I've had for, again, a very long time. And I put those on this page to spell out Yumderful. So I'm going to, at some point, outline those. I might need to come back and stick those with some glue stick. I'm not sure if they're going to stay or not, but we'll see. Anyway, there was another page I wanted to show. First of all, I wanted to mention that I'm not sure if I put this paper on while we were, while I was videoing the last time. I think I might have done it off camera, but this is a piece of gift wrap, and it's a used piece that came off of a package. I mean, something was wrapped in that for me, and it's got creases and everything in it. But I love it so much, and so I had saved it, and I was like, yep, I'm putting that in my book, and sure enough, it matched with that jelly print that I had put over here. So I thought that turned out pretty cool. But there's a page over here that I want to work on. Okay, this little, I don't know if you guys remember this little trio of characters from Hallmark. Hoops and Yo-Yo was the were the characters, and I have a little set of 3 of these Hoops and Yo-Yo's dolls. They're little, you know, they did cards and stuff, and then they ended up doing some other merchandise. And these are little, just little stuffed animals. And this is Hoops, this is Yo-Yo, and this is Piddles. And they're just adorable, and I love them. So I ended up, I don't remember if I bought this or if it was a gift, maybe from one of my kids. I just don't know, but I love them dearly, and I've kept them just like they were when I bought them, all attached together and everything. Here's their little tag over there. So my grandkids, of course, loved these, and I've had these a long time. So I want to say back in, I don't know, 2012, something like that maybe. Well, my one of my granddaughters loved them, and she wanted to draw them one day. So she did, and I kept the originals. I'm going to put them in a different book, a smash book that I have about family. But I wanted to keep what she drew in this book too, because I just love it so much. She was about, I think she was about 7, maybe 6. She could have been 6. And she, looking at those little dolls, she drew Hoops and Yo-Yo and Piddles. Aren't they so cute? There's something about kids' drawings. I just absolutely love them. I love that they have no inhibitions. They want to draw it, so they draw it. And even if it doesn't look quite right, they don't care. They just draw it. And I love that about children. But in this case, she actually really drew them pretty well. For a kid her age, she did a great job. So what I did was, on this piece of graph paper, I took some watercolor and just used this wide brush. I think it's a 1-inch, yep. And I just did a path in the 3 colors of these little guys and went right across there and then dried it. And the page is a little crinkly, and it's not a big deal to me. I think it's great. I like that crinkly sound that the wet paper, once it's dried, makes. So, and besides, I think it gives a touch of art, you know, in this book too. Sometimes everything gets to be just a bunch of scrapbook paper, and which is fine too, but I really love throwing the art in, which is why you see a lot of my art scattered in here. So I did different colors for the different characters to sit on, and I'm just going to glue them in place right here. They're just so sweet. All right, just glue off my fingers. Make sure everything's pressed down. Okay, she also wrote the little labels, the little names for each one. And I cut those out too because I've got to have the little kids' handwriting too, right? So those are going to go out there. Now I've got my Posca pens in these same colors, and I'm just going to kind of go around the outline of the words. And I think I'm going to kind of just loosely do it to the outside. I don't want to write right up next to it because I don't want to accidentally go up on there and then obliterate the word, because I won't be able to take it off of here. But I like that, just a loose little outline. Cute. Okay, and then the pink one. So that's just a cute little fun, colorful page. So I did put the photograph on this page already, and then this will be a little pocket here that I can, if I want to put the little story in there about how she drew those, I can, or put whatever I want in there, tag or whatever. But I think that is a very sweet page that once again means a whole lot to me because it was from one of my grandchildren. Love it. All right, and now I'm going to go back for the last page I'm going to do today. I want to go back to this page. I love this page so much, and a lot of these ones with the gift wrap I don't want to do a whole lot to because I just love being able to see the colors and the patterns on the paper. I just love it. But I came across something when I was looking in my images, and I really want to put it on this page, and it's because of this quote, which says, "Courage is being yourself every day in a world that expects you to be someone else." And I came across this image and I was like, oh my gosh, that would be so perfect for that page, or next door to it at least. So do you guys remember this little gal? She was in another video where I was outlining some images, doing that little faux illustration stuff that I do, and I ended up giving her a hat with a little flower on it, and I just love this image, and so I think she would be so perfect to go along with this because she's got some courage strutting around in her little floppy hat with a flower on it, okay? But she does get kind of lost if I just kind of put her on that page, so I was thinking I would put a piece of vellum in between her and the page, and so she shows up better, and I can see the colors still on the page. So I'm thinking I might do that and just glue her to the vellum, and maybe go ahead and make a pocket here too. That is so cute. I love it. Okay guys, so that's going to be it for this installment of my Joyful Junk Journal, and I hope you guys are working in one yourself, and if not, I hope you're collecting some things so that you can sometime put one together and then put all your favorite things in that you've been saving. because I'm telling you, it's so much fun, and it's very rewarding, and I'm just enjoying it so much. So until the next time, guys, take care, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.